Hello everybody, Torgal here, playing some Modsauce 2. Last time we set up our top hat golem over here to automatically fill these jars with aspects coming from the Arcane Alembic, or I should say the Alchemical Furnace. The Alembics is just what's holding it for a second. And after the episode was over, I started, breaking down primal aspects, because I know we're gonna need a lot of them. And so you guys see I got 2 of every jar over here already. This is what we had left over from last time when we made the core for this guy. And then of course I had to make more because I duplicated it. I did the same setup, mirrored it over to this side, because this one guy was just not fast enough for my taste. You guys know me, I want it fast, I want it automated. So we got 2 whole setups here. And then I also moved, no, the ME system we already had here. I moved the deconstruction tables. We had 3 over there. I removed 2, put them in the ME system, and put 1 right there. And check it out. I can take it out. It breaks down. Bam, done. And watch it. It's going to put another crafting table in here. Why is this taking so long? There we go. I hooked it up to an export bus with a crafting card. Let me show you guys real quick. Just like that. So you add the crafting card in here, and then over here you have it set to use stocked item or craft item while exploring. This is very server unfriendly. Okay? Now, why I'm using it here is because I only do this every once in a while. If you have something else that you need dozens and dozens and dozens of these, it's gonna lag your server out a lot. But if it's something small scale like this, I have no problem using it. Usually I'm not a fan of it, but it's perfect for here. Made a bunch more jars, of course, to get all these done. And then I moved our ME system from the wisps to over here. Check it out. It's the same blocks and everything. That's that chest. The ethereal essences come from the tesseract into the chest and then get imported from there. And over here I added a trash can, and I set a filter to export hearts, lungs, muscles, and brains. Because I have a few hundred of those in our main ME system. I don't need any more from these wisps, honestly. I don't think we'll ever need that many for necromancy, but it's gone. And I had this running for a bit. You guys can see all the primals are over 18,000, or some of 2 of them at 17,000. And everything else is over 200 besides Motis. Because, well, I needed a bunch over there. So that's it. That's the only changes I made down here. And, oh, I added this beacon here. I wanted to change this up a little bit. I don't know. I just wanted a beacon here, and I actually made it a full 4-level beacon. So 4 levels of iron blocks underneath in that pyramid form. Here, let me show you guys. I got the right pickaxe. Yes, you see that right there. 3, then 5, then 7, and then 9 wide. And I gave it regeneration and speed. I really only wanted the regeneration, but I didn't know what else to take from the level 1 or the primary power. So I used the speed, so we are lightning fast over here. And what was the other thing is, I just added in my tongue. Dang it. What was the other thing I was going to tell you about? I don't remember. Oh yeah, the wands are hanging up here now. But for today, I'm in a little pickle, guys, honestly. Because there is so many things that I have on my to-do list for the series. So many things I want to get done now, earlier rather than later, because they're important. For example, I want to remake our portal tower over here, or power portal building. Let me show you something, by the way. Ichen's brought over a little surprise for me. She gave me a helicopter. For my helipad. My huge helicopter. You guys think I will fit in this? I don't know. You guys tell me. I think it was really cool. It was funny. So I want to redo this building. I'm not happy about the way it is. And also, I don't have the room I want in here. So I'm going to think of a different design for that. But we started blood magic. I've made a bunch more runes, like we did the runes up here. And I put the glowstone with the 2 pillars. So now this is at tier 3. We got all this ready, haven't continued, because, well, I got sidetracked with Thaumcraft. Then the other thing I really want to work on is it bugs me to no end that we built this and we're not using it. Okay? But also, I believe we are way past early, even mid-game now. So, for example, the sifting is off. I have not had this running for 2 days now because I said it's time to move on. We are past it. We have tons of materials. So what I did, I also played around with the Mekanism teleporters, but we'll get to this in just a second. I made a Ender Quarry. We updated to the newest version, 2.2.3.0, I think. And I reset the mining age also when we did that. So, you know, we have the newest ore gen and so on. And I made an Ender Quarry. Because I said, you know what, let's go ahead and move on. It's time for us to make a quarry. And I have, let me do it like this. I got the speed upgrade 3. I have all the books and stuff for it. You need efficiency 1, 3, and 5 pickaxes. So I made all those with the enchanter from Ender IO. So here's the efficiency 5, 3, 4. This is just one that I had, and 1. And there's still an efficiency 1 pickaxe, because when you make the quarry upgrades, unfortunately, I made this one here first. And this needs an efficiency 1, but when I shift-clicked it like this, it actually took one of the efficiency 5 pickaxes that you need for the speed 3 upgrade. So just keep that in mind when you make these, and you have all the pickaxes in the ME system to make sure that it takes the right one. And of course, I enchanted those with the Botania enchanting over there, so I can keep the books if we need to enchant anymore with efficiency. And I also added the world hole upgrade because I just like it. I like to see the big quarry holes. And the other one is the Silk Touch upgrade, which requires a Silk Touch golden pickaxe. And we had that book already. And you guys can see it's currently off because I do not make enough power. Not nearly enough. I moved all my capacitors over here earlier today to let it run, and then once this was full with 10 million RF, it showed me it's using 23,000 RF a tick to run this quarry, okay? While I'm only making 7,300 with my reactor. So there's another project we really need to get onto, is to get a much better power setup. We have outgrown our reactor, it's time to get something bigger. Here, I had to go with extra utilities, with the stack upgrade and 64 speed upgrades, because the Ender IO conduits or the ducts, even with the resonant servo, cannot keep up at all. This guy can keep up. And I'm just filtering out right here. I got 2 filters, a regular filter and an inverted filter. In case you guys have never made an inverted filter because it doesn't show you in NEI, you take a regular item filter, this one, and then put it in your crafting window with a redstone torch, and that will make you an inverted. So both of these have the same items, okay? I have stone, cobble, dirt, grass, gravel, cobble, and also obsidian, because I want that to be directly in the trash can. And you need to make an inverted item filter that's for green this way, because otherwise, not sure why it does it that way. A lot of times I had some of the stone and so on go into the chest in the end here, right? And here I'm just filtering out marble and limestone because there's apparently a lot. And otherwise the rest goes in here. That's what I farmed up so far to get a really good idea of what all the different things are. Check it out how crazy this is. There is copper from Immersive Engineering, from Mekanism, from Tinker's Construct, and from Thermal Expansion and Blue Power. There's 5 different copper. I hate it. What is this? Tin. Okay. But I'm going to figure out something. There's 3 different tin and 2 different silvers, I think. 2 or 3. 2 different leads and so on. But of course, this one needs to wait until we have power. And of course, I want to set up the auto processing first. Before we then actually let this run again. I just want to show you guys real quick. Reactor power go. And just check out how fast this is. You guys see these? Well, look how fast it is. It's nuts. And I also wanted to show you guys how I get rid of all the liquids here. I don't like to have liquids in my quarry holes. So I made this void bucket from Practicalities. just ender pearl. And I just go around and suck up all the water with this void bucket real quick. And you can also suck up the lava. Of course, you gotta be a little bit more careful. And that's it. Now all the source blocks are gone, and this is gonna fall down. And down here later on, I'm gonna get rid of this lava. And if there's... We don't have railcraft, so there's no oil or sludge. I don't think there's anything but water and lava. Anyways, I just, I always like to make sure that I clean up my liquids because it's, again, good for the server. So, now that we got this out of the way, the other thing is that we need to redo is... Yeah, you're gonna laugh. Is our auto-crafting. I'm not happy about it. It's not very efficient or fast. And I especially notice that when I make a lot of chests. And check it out. Also, when you look down here, look how full the molecular assembly chambers are. This is not a lot left. So we gotta expand too, okay? And for that, I prepared a little something that I want to get started with here first. I added another floor. Okay, right down here, you guys see is the stuff that we set up, the 2 quantum rings and the current auto crafting. But this room right here is going to be only the quantum rings and the actual auto crafting setups. All the molecular assembly chambers and interfaces are coming up here. And I think that a design like this is much better. It doesn't matter if you do it horizontal, vertical, however you want it. As long as you have the interfaces touching each other. So this is 8 interfaces, that means it's 8 channels. And then on each side, 1 molecular assembly chamber, okay? Because, like I said, a lot of times when I did some of this wood crafting now, I think it's in these right here. I already have 5 acceleration cards in each one of them. Just these here. Just the first 3, I believe, right? 4? All right, the first 4. Because these are holding the solar panel patterns. And these are not really that important, but what were the other ones here? Right here. All the chests and so on. And because they're in the same interface, that means that they're just using these 2 molecular assembly, and it takes forever to make 100 chests. I'm not happy about it. And that's why I added these acceleration cards to see if I notice a big difference, and I don't. It's all about the more molecular assemblers you have per interface, I think the better it is. Only bad thing about this is that you cannot access any of the interfaces directly besides the top one, because you cannot get to it. But anyway, so each side here is going to have 32 interfaces. So that's going to be 128 interfaces here. And I think that that should be enough. And of course, 4 times as much. So that would be 512, right? Yeah, 512 molecular assemblers. That's going to be a lot of materials that I need for this. And it's kind of funny that I'm using a builder's wand to build my auto crafting, I think. But you guys see the layout right here. There's going to be 4 more, 4 more, 4 more. And that is one I'm going to set up. Let me think here. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to set up between episodes. Yes, I'm not doing this right now. That takes too long. And then also, of course, I'm going to go through and try to organize my patterns a little better, because there's a lot of them that are quite mixed up down here. Like, there's also a lot of practicality stuff and so on. I really want to have this much nicer organized, especially down here. This is a mess. And you guys see there's a bunch of other patterns, because today I told you guys, I'm sorry, I'm in a little bit of a pickle. I'm jumping all over the place because there's so many things that I want to get done before I really focus on the next big project or something, like making power. I think that's going to be the next big one. But anyways, I wanted to automate the metallurgic infuser and the osmium compressor, because for these portals here, I do like the RF tools, matter transmitters, and so on. But I think they're a pain in the butt to set up. Okay? The thing is that right down here, I have this ME system, which is apparent. Yeah, it's off. It's supposed to be off. But here I have more matter receivers and transmitters, right? that I used before for testing purposes. Now, if I want to set up another pair, for example, the way I did it over here to go to the Thaumcraft room, right? Well, these were already here. So you take a receiver and a transmitter, actually 2 transmitters and 1 receiver. 1 receiver being in the Thaumcraft room and 1 transmitter going there and 1 transmitter coming back to this main one. This is where everything, you know, comes back to in this room. And when you put them down here, okay, against the line so it has power, and then you use the dialing device to figure out, they don't show up, okay? It shows you the ones that are there. So now what I need to do here is, and I haven't figured out why, I need to break these and this one, and then I can set up the 2 or 3, I should say, that I want to program. Then I take those out again, put the ones in that are supposed to be here, and then I have the 3 that I need to set up. I'm not sure what's going on with this RF tools. Maybe I'm doing something wrong, and I'm going to show it very soon. I promised you guys that for a while. But for that reason, I wanted to go back to the Mekanism teleporters. I know they work. They also have updated the interface a lot. So now, for example, it shows you the channels that you have set up, and I can set them to private, which I love. And the 7000 here just goes over to the one. I kind of use this as a testing more. I don't really want to take this one to go to my quarry because it's right next to the mining portal, right? But just for testing purposes. So when you go somewhere else, you see all the ones that you have saved. And I liked it a lot. So, but I wanted this automated, okay? Because this guy right here, you know, takes 8. For 9 of these, you need 3, 5, 7, 9. Yes. You need one set of 9 for every portal, plus this guy down here, which is the actual teleporter. You know, and they have a bunch of parts you need to put together, and that is why I wanted to automate the Mekanism stuff. Well, the problem is that with Ender.io, you cannot really do it. I did have a chest here with an interface, and then I had the 2 sides with filters set up and so on. I'm going to show you guys some screenshots here real quick on how I had it set up, the filters, and it worked if you order one part at a time. But if you tell them to make an entire teleporter at once, it will send all the redstone, all the diamond dust, all the osmium, all the glowstone, and so on to these machines. And because these 2 machines are so different from everything else, because they have an actual item that is being worked on with I'm calling this a reagent, okay? So for example, you have redstone in here. Let me just demonstrate it. You put redstone in here and you see it gives you 10 redstone. That's like a reagent, almost like you're injecting this into what you put in here, for example, an osmium ingot. And that makes you a basic control circuit. But sometimes you had diamond dust in here and then it sends an osmium and nothing happens. You know, because that's not a valid recipe. So because all this was sitting in the chest and Ender.io tried to do its thing and it was sending it to the correct sides, but not at the correct order. And that's why it didn't work. And then I remembered in Modsauce 1, we had 5 or 6 of these set up for that purpose. Well, this time I said I'm going to handle it with Steve's Factory Manager, and that is what I wanted to show you guys today on how I set this up. At least one example, because the rest are all exactly the same, okay? So I have here, I made 2 command groups, one for the infuser and one for the compressor. Because over here I have an interface that sends the parts into this chest to sit there, and then Steve takes over. And right now I have 2 pattern enriched alloy and basic control circuit, and we're gonna set up this reinforced alloy right now, okay? That's what we're gonna set up now, which requires 1 diamond dust and 1 enriched alloy. So let's get these real quick. I have this set up, of course, in the pulverizer. So there's our diamond dust, and we're gonna need 1 enriched alloy, and I'm just taking them out because ever since that one viewer something Zach, I think, told me about the INV in Steve. I've been using that a lot because I like it a lot. So let's go in here into the infuser. And here, first of all, I have the return set up automatically, okay? And the return, this is just renamed. This is usually the trigger, and you can rename that just to return. So the interval, that doesn't matter. The input is from the metallurgic infuser, and the target is north. Now, on this machine, when we set it up today, it's important that you know the directions, okay? So, right here, the red and the purple and the blue. Blue is output, red is the product that we're working on, and red is product, and purple is the reagent. And I've set them up on both machines the same, that the reagent comes from the top, the product comes from the left, and the output is always on the right. And you don't need auto eject, it doesn't matter. So, blue is north, so output is north, input is south, reagent is top, right? Just to show you again, reagent is top, input is south, and output is north. So you gotta remember this. And how I set it up here, on the inventory, if the metallurgic infuser target north, which is our output, take whatever is in that field and send it to the ME interface to go back into our ME system. And the target doesn't matter on this one because there's no sides to the ME interface. So I just on the chest and on the ME interface, you can always just select up. It doesn't matter because we're not specifically targeting a side. Sorry guys, I gotta take a sip for a second. 21 minutes of straight talk. I gotta give my throat a little bit of fluid. And items, again, blacklist. So if there's anything in the metallurgic infuser output slot, just take it and put it in the interface. There's no logic here, okay? So here I have the enriched alloy and the basic control circuits already set up. What did we make here? What is it called? Reinforced alloy. So let's make a new command group and name this... Wow. You gotta be kidding me, guys. Sorry. I'm thinking ahead. Reinforced alloy. Alright, let's do this. Reinforced alloy. Okay, cool. Alright, and now we go in here. And now it's not hard, guys. It really isn't. We're gonna need a trigger. No doubt about that. Then we're going to need a condition. Then we're going to need, if the condition is true, we're gonna need an input. Yes. And then we need a flow control. And then we need two outputs because we're getting two items and we need to send them to two different ports on that machine, right? I hope that makes sense. And now, first thing you're going to do is on the flow, you're going to change the connections to split two outputs. Right now it's set to have two inputs, but we want two outputs. And check it out. Now it has one nipple on top and two on the bottom. So, let's go with the condition first. Inventory, we're going to check the compact chest. It's selected, target up. It doesn't matter. And it requires all. We're checking for... Oh, no. I don't know why did I type that L? Stop it. Okay, we are checking for a diamond dust. And we're checking for an enriched alloy. And of course, specify amount 1. I'm checking if there's at least one diamond dust. Oops. And is there at least one enriched alloy in here? And only if both of them are there, the condition is going to be true. If it's false, we're not doing anything. Okay, and now of course we are taking that from the compact chest up, it don't matter. And I'm gonna take again that diamond dust, again 1, and I'm taking the enriched alloy 1, and then we are sending that to the flow. You don't need to do anything here because it's just, hey, I'm just splitting this up and we're gonna have two outputs. So now in this machine, the diamond dust is the reagent, which is top, and the enriched alloy is going to be the south one. All right, so let's set that up. Input, inventories. Now we're going to the metallurgic infuser. Target, I'm going to do south first, activate. And south is the actual product, so that's going to be whitelist. .inv. That's going to be the enriched alloy. That guy right there, the product. And again, I think that I have it set up on the other ones just to make sure that I cannot mess anywhere up and it sends too many items. Bam, done. And the inventories, this one here is, wait a second. Did I forget something here? No, items done, target was south, correct. It's all done. And again, inventories, we're gonna do metallurgic infuser. And this time, target up. Activate. Up is for the reagent. And that is going to be whitelist from the inventory, the diamond dust. And I'm going to say again, 1. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What? No, it's right. Yes, okay. I'm sometimes when you talk and trying to explain something, it's a little hard to keep track of stuff. And that is it. And now when we control it, done. Now we're triggering it. And now I can put this recipe here, right there, into there. Now, because I have these 2 items on me already, I can just put them in the chest. Bam. It put the diamond dust in here. I'm going to order 10 real quick. Of that guy, or 8. So we have around 10. See, it puts, you just see. Oh, sorry, I ordered the wrong ones. Reinforced alloy. This guy right there. We're gonna order... Oh, wait. No, it does make it. My bad. It's making these first. It made these first, and now it put the diamond dust in here. Anyway, we have them all 10 here, so it works. So I hope that makes sense. And for all the other recipes here, this one, this one, this one, and this one, it is exactly the same. Okay? Here, the reinforced alloy is the product. Refined obsidian dust is the... reagent. And this one here, the diamond dust is the reagent, and the pulverized obsidian is the product. And then this is just to make steel, coal with an iron ingot, and then again, the enriched alloy, which he just made, with another coal makes you that steel dust. And then these 2 here are actually made in the osmium compressor. Now here I have a problem. I already have it hooked up to Steve, but we're actually not going to use Steve to put osmium in here. And I cannot explain why, guys, okay? Let me just show you for a second. We are going to use... What does it take to make this here? Osmium ingot and a glowstone dust. Let me show you real quick. Because I have not figured out... There's like no rhyme or reason behind it as far as I've seen. Osmium. Okay. Now, the thing is here, the recipe says you need 1 osmium ingot. It automatically goes in here and it filled it with 200. And then you need 1 glowstone dust up here. And it makes it and makes you 1. Okay? But now, let's make 3 more. So I put 3 in there. 1, 2, 3. Set. It stopped. For some reason, sometimes it needs a little more osmium than other times, and I cannot explain why. So that means I cannot set up a recipe that says 1 and 1 makes 1, because it's not true, right? So what I'm going to do here is actually, I'm going to use this just to send the glowstone, or for this recipe, the refined obsidian dust into the product slot. But the actual purple one, the one from the top, okay, I'm actually going to put an export bus. That just always exports osmium. So that thing is just always full, because that's the only thing you ever put in here is osmium. I don't know of any other recipe where you put something else in here, right? I can leave this in here to make sure it works later. So what I'm going to do here now is simply tell it to always export osmium. And I need a few cables real quick. How do we make this pretty? Let's run it right on top of the Steve. Like that. So now it should hook in any second. There we go. You guys see it, put osmium, and there it goes. Now it's gonna fill it up slowly, and once this is at 64, I guess it's not bad to give this 1 acceleration card in case I order a few dozens of these. And now it's going to go up. Yes, so that's how I want it. So now there's just always osmium in here. I don't need to worry about it. It's just going to work. You know, I can send as many of these or whatever in here, and it will always have enough osmium. But overall, the trigger, the condition, and the input is going to be the same for this machine. Instead of, you know, I'm for the glowstone and the refined obsidian. But I'm not going to have a flow. I'm just going to go to one output. So that's how I'm going to automate these machines. I hope that makes sense. I didn't want to set the whole thing up with you guys because it's just repeating this exact thing over and over. I guess the only other thing we need to do is we need to go back one into the compressor. We can do that real quick. And that is trigger input output. And I'm going to name that the same here than I did in the other one, just to make sure it's nice and uniform. This is the return. And there we're simply checking the inventory of the, what is this here? Oh, it shows you the cables. That's silly. All right, osmium compressor, target, north. Activate, items, blacklist. So there's nothing blacklisted, anything in the output. And we're sending that, of course, to our ME interface, target up, because it doesn't matter on that one, and items blacklist. So that means anything in this machine's output, bam, it's already gone. It just pulls it out and puts it into the interface here, so it goes back into the ME system. That is it, guys. Like I said, we have a lot of stuff going on. And like until next episode, I want to have this done up here. I want to have the automation done down there, and I want to figure out what power I want to go with. There is, of course, big reactor turbine, but that means that I will most likely tear the reactor from in here out, take it out, and then we're going to need to make ourselves a reactor building somewhere because we're going to use turbines and the likes. And I also need to find out, for example, if... There's probably nowhere near enough 826 cyanide. So it's quite possible that I need to let the quarry run on... Ooh. I didn't even show you. It's empty. You guys see this? This is what the quarry is running on. It cannot keep up at all. And this guy is empty too. They're all empty, even though I'm running at 7,300 RF a tick. You know, I need 23 just for the quarry. So I actually need to go back because I'm worried that some other stuff might, you know, run out of power. Let's just turn this off real quick. And so either reactor or there is also, and I need to look into it a little more first, the fusion reactor from, oh my god, look how fast this filled it. Oh, I don't want to make any more stuff because I want to figure out first how to process it. I mean, this is, look how much stuff this is. There's also from Mekanism a fusion reactor now that I have played around with in single player. Actually, it's probably easier if I do this. Whoop! It's, what is it called? Just reactor? Yes. Okay, where it is? There it is. Now that's the turbine. Here it is. There is these mechanism items. It's a multi-block structure, and you need a ton of different gases and so on. And I think it would be fun to set that up because we haven't done it yet. But I gotta make sure first that I find out how much power that thing actually makes. Can we scale it large? Because on Modsauce 1 with our 8 reactors, what did we have there? I think over 170,000 RF a tick. And I would like to get something similar. You know, this guy right here needs 23,000 RF a tick already. You know, you have a couple more other things running that need a lot of power. And bam, we need to extend again. Anyways, you guys see I have a lot of projects to do and prepare. So today's episode was a little bit, like I said, all over the place, just to show you all the different things I want to get done and want to do. And they're actually holding me back from, whoop, where is it? It's, wait a second. It's this way. But it's holding me back from continuing with Blood Magic, Botania, Thaumcraft, and also like our dinosaurs, Necromancy. There's so many other mods I want to get into. And so I got to slow down and just make one project at a time. Like I said, I'm going to continue programming this so it's done, and then work on finishing our auto crafting setup completely. I actually also wanted to show you guys that I programmed the solar panel up to solar panel 4 because I'm using these now. It felt kind of cheesy that I was still using the free lava from spawn. That's more like of a hey in the beginning for your smeltery, so you don't need to, you know, ruin the nether by setting up a pump. That's why I made this, but we're way past the free stuff, and that's why I switched to the solar panels. I'm still using the lava down there, but I think I don't know how I'm gonna replace that yet. Maybe I'm just gonna hook up a tesseract to the immersive engineering power. Which, by the way, if anybody wants to bring that up, it only makes 4,096. So I would make, what? I need to make 100 of those? Yeah, that's not gonna happen, because that means everything here would be sugarcane and melons. I'm sorry, guys. I've been rambling. You guys see, this was a very talky episode, but it needed to be said, everything. And I hope you guys are looking forward to the entire series as much as I do. There's so many things we're still gonna do and build and explore. Hopefully another 50 episodes. I'm not kidding. Anyways, guys, on that note, look forward to an insane auto crafting setup up here. Next time we'll come back. And I'm gonna keep the episodes coming as quick as I can, especially because I have so much things to do. On that note, guys, until next time, take care, stay safe, and bye-bye.